Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves.
I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. And I feel misunderstood, cause I'm trying hard to love.
Today I wanted to talk to you guys about some growth updates that I have going on in my plant room here. I'll tell you right now, this is my first full winter keeping houseplants, and I really did think that growth would slow down completely during the winter months. I was told by a lot of people that plants just don't grow in the winter, and luckily that has not been the case for me. A lot of plants have been thriving this winter, so I thought it would be a great time to show you guys around and let you know what is doing well, what's maybe not doing so well, and I can also share with you how I feel like I'm getting these results. Before we get into this video though, guys, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you click that button down below and also give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to join as a member, you're more than welcome to. We have an awesome group chat over on Discord, and there's also bonus content available for the top tiers of my memberships. There is also a link down below for my merch, so if that's something that you're interested in, you can also check it out down below. But with that being said, let's get straight on into these growth updates. Before I take you guys handheld and we can go around my plant room, I do want to let you guys know kind of where my plant room is at right now in terms of light, humidity, and how much I'm watering my plants. So right now in Canada, humidity is awful. And so for that reason, I have put all of my really humidity loving plants in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet because I know that I can't provide anything over 30% without added humidifiers in this room right now, which is crazy, but unfortunately that's the reality. In summertime, I am able to get this room up to about 60 or 70%, but that's with the use of humidifiers. If I use humidifiers now, I'm lucky if I can get it to 50%. So I definitely have to keep my humidity loving plants in my cabinet, but that's not to say that with the right amount of watering and a careful eye, you can definitely keep more rare and exotic plants alive in lower humidity levels. But that's kind of where I'm at in terms of humidity. My cabinet is staying at about 65% humidity at the moment. There's not a humidifier in there, so I'm happy with that level, especially since outside it's about 30%. And then in terms of light, I have lots of grow lights around the room here. Unfortunately, the lighting outside is just god awful and I barely get any natural sunlight onto my plants. So I'm making sure that I'm supplementing that with grow lights. I have some Barina T8 grow lights in my greenhouse cabinet. I also have the exact same ones on my Hoya shelf, which you guys will see later in this video. And I also have some cheaper Amazon grow lights that clip onto my little table back there. And those guys are doing great for those plants as well. And everything will be linked down below as usual for you guys if you'd like to use the same grow lights as I do. And in terms of watering, my watering actually hasn't slowed down at all, and that's partially because of the fact I have baseboard heating and it gets very, very dry in here. That's likely the reason my humidity is actually so low. It's because to heat up this room, we unfortunately have to use baseboard heating. So I have been watering just as much as I do in the summer because it's been kind of hot in here, but if you have cooler temperatures and not so much light, you're definitely going to have to be cutting back on your watering in the winter time. But that's going to be all for the kind of precursor to this video. So let's just get straight on into the tour of the growth updates. All right, guys, so this is basically the corner of my room where I have my big Gloriosum that you guys have seen many times before. I also have a lot of my newer plants or larger plants over here, and everything is doing amazingly. Sorry about the disgusting mess, but this was an impromptu video. So yeah, let me go plant by plant. I'll start off with the Gloriosum actually. This one was pretty stagnant for quite a while because prior to winter, I was doing a lot of propagation with this plant, and I was doing lots of trades, giving pieces away for some other wishlist plants, and I totally don't regret that, but it definitely did slow down the growth for this guy. I will go in the back here. Let's see if I can take this guy away. So in the back here, you can see there's actually a ton of new leaves going on. This leaf here is actually a little bit older, but this leaf came out relatively recently. It did come out a bit damaged, but this was the first new leaf, a part of the new growth after I had chopped it. Then we got this beautiful, perfect leaf here in the back, and I'm super happy with that one. So that's great. And then there's also, I'm not sure what you guys are seeing back there, but there is also a new growth point there ready to come out, which is super exciting. And yeah, we'll have to wait for that side of the plant. But as you guys know, I have two plants in this pot. This side here is another part. This leaf here is dying off, but that's okay. This is the oldest leaf on this plant. But if you can see in there, there is actually a growth point that is going to be coming out soon. It's definitely activated. So I'm just waiting for that guy to come out, basically. So yeah, this guy is definitely doing well. I do think that I'm going to lose these two larger leaves, but there's also a lot left over, so I won't be too disappointed when that does happen. I just think I'm gonna have to slow down on the propagation for this guy for a little while. Then over here we have my variegated alocasia. This one's doing okay. Again, it did lose lots of leaves when I first got it because I did repot it and it seemed to go into a little bit of shock. But we are actually getting some new growth. Right there where you can see all of that white is where the new leaf is coming in, which is really, really exciting. I'm hopeful that that leaf is going to be nicely variegated. So I'll pinch my fingers where the leaf is. Yeah, it's like right here. So I'm hoping that that's going to be really nice and variegated, but I will keep you guys updated when that leaf comes out on my Instagram, if not on YouTube. But still, that's a beautiful leaf there. And then my squammy, this guy has been losing some leaves, but that's to be expected. It has lots of other leaves. And there's a new growth point right there. All of the leaves that were dying are old leaves that are close to the base of the plant. So it's not super concerning. But we do have a new growth point there, so that will be awesome. And I will definitely take a photo of that and post that on my Instagram as well when it comes out. My painted lady is also putting out some new growth there. Unfortunately, I did snap this leaf off, but it's okay. It's still growing, and the leaf is just kind of coming out of its sheath now, so I'm hopeful that that will be a nice, pretty, larger leaf for this plant. And then we have this beautiful Anthurium magnificum leaf that's still soft. It's still going to be growing quite a bit, but this is kind of a size comparison for you guys. The older leaves on this plant are just massive, but this is the first new leaf in my care, and I don't expect it to be just as big. But if it does get that big, that will be awesome. But yeah, it still is floppy, so we'll see. I hope that it does grow a little bit more, but even if it stayed that size, I would not be disappointed. It's still very beautiful. Then over here, I also have this tiny little Albosingonium podophyllum cutting, and this guy's actually going to go to my sister. She was drooling over the Albosingoniums that she saw on the Secret Garden website. So since I had a small cutting of one, I thought that I would give this to her. It's actually really cute. I like the variegation on it, and I'm hopeful that that next leaf, whenever it comes out, will also be nicely variegated. But yeah, I'll just give this to her to take a whirl with, basically. She's still a new plant parent, so I won't give her anything too crazy to begin with. And then over here, you guys saw this in my last video, my Philodendron glorious. It is putting out a brand new large leaf there, and that guy is just going to be so beautiful. I know it, and I'm going to try to spray it almost every day. just so that it doesn't get stuck, because that's what happened to this leaf. I didn't pay enough attention and that happened. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm keeping on top of that. If I have to move a humidifier over here, I definitely will. Then if we move on over to my greenhouse cabinet here, let me prop open this door. So there's actually quite a bit going on in here, which is really, really nice. All of these growth points on this Anthurium radicans Drusleri have basically shriveled up and died before they become anything, but there are some new active growth points there. I'm hopeful that this guy will take off a little bit once it's been in here for a little while. It was not really loving its life outside of the tent, so hopefully this is happier now. There's also some significant progress on my El Chaco Red here. That leaf has basically emerged and grown to be that size in less than 2 weeks, so that's super exciting. And it currently has 4 leaves, so once that new leaf comes out, 5 leaves would be amazing on this plant. It's looking so beautiful though. You guys can see. I'm just so excited for that next leaf. I'm hopeful that the size starts to increase a little bit, but even if it doesn't, I think it's so pretty at that size. This is actually one of my favorite growth updates. We have some new growth on my, what is this, Anthurium forgetii, which is super exciting because this guy kind of did nothing for a really long time after it put this leaf out, but as soon as I put it into this tent, that new growth point showed up. So it definitely seems to be enjoying the greenhouse. Sorry, not tent, greenhouse. It does have this like kind of tip that was melting away, but it seems to be dried up now, so I don't think that's going to progress any further. So I'll just keep an eye on that, but it seems to be doing okay now. Then if we come down here, I'm sorry if you guys can hear that gurgling noise. That's just my little makeshift water fountain. I just put a submersible air pump in that little jar there to create some water and airflow. And then my billy tie is also putting out a brand new leaf there. You guys can see, hopefully. It is getting pretty tall. So hopefully that starts actually pushing out that leaf soon. And then we're just waiting on this ring of fire leaf to come out. No rush though, it does need to root a little bit more. So I'm sure it's just taking its time to kind of establish its roots a little bit better before it puts out that leaf. And then over here we have my variegated, or my sport variegated monstera that is putting out a brand new leaf, and you can see that variegation starting actually. I couldn't see that yesterday, but you can see it now. Just beautiful. Let's see, and it actually has a fenestration, which is so exciting. It's the first one on this plant. But yeah, I'm hopeful that that variegation comes in nicely. You can see it though, it'll be good. This plant has really good genes, so I'm excited for that one too. This guy has actually been pretty stagnant, my snowdrift, but that leaf is finally coming out there, so hopefully that pushes that out a little bit quicker now that it's in the greenhouse. And I think that's basically it for the progress in here. Nothing else has made any dramatic changes, so I'll close this up. This new growth on my Begonia maculata whitei is absolutely adorable. How cute is that? I love the color they come in and how tiny those little dots look. So cute. And then over here we also have my Albosingonium podophyllum. This one is always pushing out new growth. I think this is one of the newest leaves, and this here is one of the newest leaves. So it's definitely putting out some beautifully variegated leaves. But I'll continue to update you guys with the new growth on this one because it happens quite often. This is one of the newest leaves on this specific stem, so hopefully the variegation doesn't quit on this guy, but there are multiple growth points in this plant, so I'm not super concerned about that either. Last but not least, we do have some growth on my Hoya rotundiflora here. It's so dusty, I'm sorry. But you can see there, it's definitely working on some new leaves on on its stem there, which is very exciting. I'm hopeful that those don't get knocked off by accident, but yeah, this plant has done kind of nothing for a really long time, so I'm looking forward to having some new leaves on it. Alright guys, well that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up down below and subscribe as well. You can also join as a member for as little as $1.99 Canadian per month. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!